So yesterday, Trey Turner pulled off yet another smooth play. I don't know if he's diving or just falling in style, but if you can find me a smoother baseball player than Trey Turner, I'll give you $100. I mean, you won't find one, but go for it. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about, including a White Sox player, Elvis Andrus, that had some interesting things to say about the Guardians, and yeah, he really jinxed his team. The Yankees made a little bit of history yesterday, and Seattle, yeah, the Mariners are slumping at the worst possible time, but they called up Jared Kelenic, so maybe he's gonna finally be good. Before we talk about the games from yesterday, I need to talk about this. September 22nd, 1911, so exactly 111 years ago today, Cy Young won his final game, 511 wins. So let me know in the comments, do you think that is the most unbreakable record in baseball, or do you think it's Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak? Like, whose record is never going to get broken? I'm curious to see the comments. So before we show the crazy Jays and Phillies game, I can recap the Angels and Rangers game in about 15 to 20 seconds. Like, what are we even watching? Are we sure this wasn't a Little League game? I mean, at this point, I feel terrible for Halos fans because you deserve better than this absolute dumpster fire that is your team. Like, I'm sorry. Now, I normally don't do this because I don't want to risk upsetting the copyright gods. I never actually play audio, but I need to show this clip of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting a 3-run home run, and the Phillies broadcasters, they thought they lost.
Oh, man, that ball is crushed.
So I guess what's even funnier is the fact that Philly actually won this ballgame. Yeah, the Toronto bullpen folded like lawn chairs, allowing Philly to storm back and eventually walk it off. JT Realmuto, he has 21 home runs now, and he is 3 stolen bases away from becoming the second catcher ever to have a 2020 season. Matt Vierling, he went 5 for 5 after walking this off with a game-ending RBI base hit. Philadelphia, they really needed that because Blake Snell, he was stupid. So the Phillies and Padres are kind of neck and neck in that wild card race, and Blake Snell had 13 strikeouts and took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. He was also throwing 98 miles an hour on pitch number 117, so he was as electric as it gets. And would you look at that? It's almost like Josh Hader is still very, very good and just needed some time to get comfortable and readjust. Over his last 4 appearances, I don't think he's given up any runs. He has been nails. Also, I just want to mention the Cardinals haven't scored in like 37 consecutive innings. And also, by the way, Juan Soto made history. He became the first player in Major League Baseball history to have 500 walks before turning 24 years old. You remember that scene from Moneyball where the guy calls Kevin Youkilis a Greek god at getting on base? Juan Soto is like the Zeus of that conversation. You gotta be kidding me with this Braves and Mets trend. So we all know that they're riding 5 and 6 game winning streaks, but they always seem to mimic each other. If the Braves win, the Mets win. If the Mets lose, the Braves lose, which is exactly what happened yesterday. So Michael Brasso belted a grand slam to basically put the game on ice, and you're thinking, there's no way the Braves lose a game to the Nationals on the same day that the Mets lose, so the Braves, they're going to gain a game. No, that did not happen because they lost courtesy of Joey Meneses, the 29-year-old, 30-year-old rookie, whatever he is. He is heating back up, and he put the Braves in a hole that they couldn't dig out of, and I just can't believe that it's really anything you can do, I can do, but better, and I guess that applies to losing as well. The Yankees made a little bit of history yesterday because Giancarlo Stanton hit a walk-off grand slam in the 9th inning of the game prior. So in back-to-back innings after Oswaldo Cabrera hit a grand slam, they became the 16th team ever to do a grand slam. What am I saying? To hit a grand slam in back-to-back innings. So I thought that was pretty fun. Gleyber Torres had 2 home runs in yesterday's game, so he's now at 23 for the season. Severino returned as well. New York, I'm not gonna lie, with the addition of Harrison Bader into that lineup, Oswaldo Cabrera is looking more comfortable. Sevy was back in the rotation. New York, along with MVP Aaron Judge, I'm feeling it. They look really good. We talked about Blake Snell having 13 punchies, and so did Tristan McKenzie against the division rival Chicago White Sox. We'll talk about him in a moment because rookie Will Brennan, I love this guy's swing. For whatever reason, it's short, it's compact. I like it a lot. He's not worried about the long ball. So he had his first career RBI. Stephen Kwan now has 5 home runs, and Josh Naylor blasted off yet again versus his arch nemesis. He goes nuts anytime we play the White Sox. And then there's Tristan with a baker's dozen. 13 strikeouts in yesterday's contest. Please give him a lifetime contract before he goes to bed tonight. Elvis Andrus, I just want to say, before the series started, he said this, a lot of blah, 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 something about Cleveland crumbling. Yeah, okay, buddy. I don't know what you were talking about, but it's not right. Now, if we're going to talk about the Guardians and the White Sox, I have to talk about the Twins. And if you've ever seen one of those really dramatic TV shows about doctors where they say clear and then they pump the chest. Yeah, I think the Twins are about one chest pump away from being declared dead. They lost again yesterday. Speaking of losing, both the Rays and the Mariners have been doing a bit of that as of late. They are both in the middle of a slump. Kyle Tucker and Lance McCullers pretty much took care of Tampa Bay as the Astros actually swept the Tampa Bay Rays. So the Rays are just a half game ahead of the Mariners for the wild card spot. And yeah, again, I just want to mention that the Mariners dropped another, losing 2-1 to a very bad A's team. So if Baltimore can steal this game from the Tigers, they can get back within 4 games with about 2 weeks left, which is very much doable. Rookies Gunnar Henderson, Josh Stowers, and Adley Rutschman all drove an RBI. Stowers, he beat out everyone because he hit a home run, so that's cool. Jordan Lyles was also very impressive. He tossed a complete game for the Baltimore Orioles, and I refuse to believe that he's ace material, but every 4 or 5, maybe 6 starts, he turns into an ace. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it, but Jordan Lyles, again, once a month can be pretty good. The Diamondbacks take another game against the Dodgers, and I definitely get a coasting vibe from the Doyers. I really think that because they've made the playoffs, they're just trying to make their way into the playoffs without any injury. Mad Bum looked great yesterday, and it was nice to see Corbin Carroll driving in 2 runs on an extra base hit. I'm so excited to see him become a future superstar. Now, speaking of superstars, Mookie Betts became the first Dodger player since Duke Snider, Hall of Famer Duke Snider, back in 1959, to have 35 doubles and 35 home runs in a single season. The Hall of Fame is waiting for dear Mookie Betts. The final games from yesterday, Logan Webb took a no-hitter into the 6th inning as the Giants came away with an easy 6-1 victory over the Rockies. The Giants have quietly won 3 in a row. They're still 9.5 or 8.5 games back. I don't know if they have enough time, but at least they're winning games. Ian Happ had a sac fly in the 8th to help Chicago grab a W over the Miami Marlins. The Marlins have been awful in the second half, but that's in large part because of injury. And the Reds, they went easy over the Red Sox, who, I'm sorry for Red Sox fans as well, and I'm sorry for showing this because it's pretty much time to pack it in. The season, it's over. Now, one cool thing I want to show from this Red Sox and Reds game is Joey Votto. I think he just bought a ticket. He probably got a free ticket, but regardless, he was out in the stands talking with people, having a great time. The very millisecond that Joey Votto retires from the game of baseball, I hope that he becomes a broadcaster because he's so good for the game. I don't want him to ever leave. I hope you guys had fun watching today's recap. I'm actually enjoying these new kind of recaps where I'm talking about storylines and not going through every single play. Like, it allows me to kind of be funnier. I know a lot of people don't think I'm funny, but it allows me to kind of have more fun with these games and not really care so much about the stats per se. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe, do all that crazy YouTube stuff, and enjoy the web gems.
Out to center, Victor Robles on the way, and he's going to dive after making that grab, looking for 2, and he's got it.
That's a pop-up. Giants were playing the shift, so Crawford has to come sprinting in, and he goes into the slide to make the catch.
2 runs scored and 2 stolen bases. Will Brennan sliding into foul territory makes the catch for out number 1.
How about that? Off you, and then you all of a sudden try to overthrow and you make more mistakes.
Hey. Diving grab made by Akil Baddoo to rob Gunnar Henderson of a 3rd hit. Another special play by
Kemp hustling out, and Tony Kemp with a spectacular play.
Off the glove of McGill, barehanded by Guillorme, and he threw him out. Oh, wow.
That's just a fine play.